Discover new music.
Now on 95 Triple X.
I swear, every Charlie Puth song, he does this. He does. Oh, new music, Charlie Puth. It's How Long. I'll admit.
So, before I ever made this YouTube channel, I used to have a career in radio. One of the stations that I worked at was an adult contemporary station that played a lot of one-hit wonders from the 90s and early 2000s. One-hit wonders always fascinated me. I always wanted to know, what was the story behind this hit? Why was the artist or band only able to strike gold once? And was there any other hidden gems that no one else knew about? In MLS terms, the biggest one-hit wonder is Pando Ramirez, a guy with crazy hair that did absolutely nothing during the regular season, and then went on to score the game winner in MLS Cup 2005, and then completely vanished from MLS for good. This is his story. 2005 was a pretty big year for MLS. It was the league's 10th season of existence. 2 expansion teams entered into the mix, with Chivas USA and Real Salt Lake. The Dallas Burn rebranded to FC Dallas, and Landon Donovan returned to MLS, but instead of playing with the Earthquakes, he joined their California Classico arch rival, the LA Galaxy. The LA Galaxy in 2005 were okay. They only entered the playoffs 500 with a 13-13-6 record, which was actually the lowest seed heading into the playoffs. In contrast, Supporter Shield winners San Jose Earthquakes had 19 more points in the regular season standings. But this was a year of transition for the Galaxy. Only 11 of the 28 players from the 2004 playoff roster remained in 05. They also had to deal with a lot of international call-ups for the final round of CONCACAF qualifying for the World Cup. And despite all that, they still did manage to win the US Open Cup. So while I think they underachieved in the regular season, and while there were definitely better Galaxy teams in the past, they were still competitive and certainly no pushovers. One of the many new reinforcements to join the Galaxy was a Guatemalan named Guillermo Ramirez, or more commonly known as Pando Ramirez. Pando proved he could score in Guatemala, scoring over 50 goals in his first stint with Municipal. Then, in 2005, Pando joined the Galaxy on loan. Okay, now, I really don't like saying things like, oh, a player sucks, or, anything like that, because if you're a professional athlete, it doesn't matter what sport or what league you play in. If you're getting paid to play, then you're pretty damn good. You're better than over 99% of the population. With that being said, though, Pando sucked for the Galaxy. I'm not saying he sucked as a player. I'm just saying there are certain situations where, for whatever reason, players don't succeed. And for Pando, he just wasn't a good fit for the Galaxy. During the regular season, Pando had 1 goal, which came from a PK. And other than that, he registered 62 shots. 62 shots from the open field of play and 0 goals. That is a remarkable ratio. Like, dude could not buy a goal. And it got to the point where his shooting was so bad, it became a liability for the team. So Pando was sent to the bench. Okay, fast forward. 05 MLS Cup playoffs. Galaxy pull off the upset in the conference semis against top seed San Jose Earthquakes, and then beat Colorado on the road to advance to MLS Cup. Both of those matchups, Pando had no impact because he didn't leave the bench. MLS Cup 2005, LA Galaxy versus the New England Revolution. The 05 Cup final was actually a rematch of the 02 final. The difference this time was New England were clear favorites this time around. This team was stacked. But during the final, it was actually the underdog Galaxy that was putting on most of the pressure. they seemed to create the better chances all throughout the first half. But they weren't able to find the goal. And then, in the 66th minute, Coach Steve Sampson made a peculiar sub, calling upon Pando Ramirez. How exactly did Pando's 0 goals in open play during the season give Sampson confidence to sub him in the final? As the game headed to extra time still scoreless, I remember thinking, this one's going to PKs. Like, both teams, they were struggling to find that golden opportunity. The game had a lot of half chances, but no one was able to put anything in. It seemed like the only way anyone would be able to break the deadlock would be with a moment of magic. And then...
Job of coming all the way back. Landon puts it over. Reese got one hand on it. Ramirez again. He scores! And Pando Ramirez! The Galaxy lead!
Not only is it maybe the best goal in MLS Cup history, it came from the most unlikely source. Pando Ramirez. Freaking Pando Ramirez. Picture perfect volley. Unbelievable. If you thought that moment would motivate the Galaxy to sign him to a full-time deal in the offseason, then you would be mistaken. Yes, even after scoring the game winner in MLS Cup, the Galaxy were ready to move on from Pando. Okay, so he didn't have the most success in MLS, but for one game, the biggest game of the year, he got to be the hero. And that's the end of Pando's MLS story. Now, I could end the video here, but I don't think I should, because his story gets a lot weirder from this point on. So after his Galaxy days, Pando Ramirez returned to Guatemala, and a few years later, he found himself in some hot water with numerous match-fixing accusations. Okay, when I think of match-fixing, I think of the famous cases, like Germany and Austria in the 1982 World Cup. If you don't know, both teams were okay with a 1-0 Germany win. A 1-0 Germany win would mean both teams would advance to the next round. So, after Germany took an early 1-0 lead, both teams effectively stopped trying. Like as in, they basically time wasted for 80 minutes. If you wonder why the last group stage matches are always played at the same time, it's because of this game. There's also the Chicago Black Sox scandal. Yeah, I know, it's baseball, but it's still relevant. If you don't know, the White Sox made the 1919 World Series and were heavy favorites to win it all against the Cincinnati Reds. But the players hated their managers so much that they were willing to throw the World Series for a couple bucks. As a result, many of the players of that 1919 Chicago White Sox team were banned from baseball for life. That's the thing. You fix matches to either get a favorable result or maybe just for financial gains. With Pando Ramirez, he was accused of multiple different match-fixing scandals, such as the 2010 CONCACAF Champions League group stage, where his Municipal fell to Santos Laguna 6-1. Okay, sure, maybe Municipal could have pulled off a historic upset in Mexico, but they would also need the Columbus Crew to lose to Joe Public FC in order to advance. And come on, an American team losing in Trinidad in the final game, when would that ever happen? Now, I want to be clear. I do not condone match fixing in any way, shape, or form. But try and see this through Pando's point of view. I mean, you're going to pay me to lose to a team that we're already probably going to lose to. Okay. Now, had this been Pando's only incident, I'm sure he would have been forgiven. But unfortunately, instead of learning from his mistakes after he got caught, Pando Ramirez did it again. this time with a pair of Guatemala national team matches. In June 2011, a 2-0 defeat to Venezuela, and in May of 2012, a 3-2 defeat to Costa Rica. He's also been accused of match fixing against South Africa, but I don't believe he was officially punished for that one. Here's where my ignorance comes in. What's the point of match fixing these games? They were all international friendlies, as in like win or lose, nothing happens. Who desperately needed Guatemala to lose to Venezuela in an exhibition? Again, I don't condone match fixing. But if I'm looking at this through Pando's eyes, it's like, you want to pay me to lose a game that has no ramifications whatsoever? Okay. I don't get it. Like, why fix these matches? It doesn't make any sense. Just 7 years after scoring the wonder goal that won the Galaxy their second ever MLS Cup, Pando Ramirez was banned for life by the Guatemalan FA and by FIFA. It's kind of sad that this has become his legacy. But at least he'll always have MLS Cup 2005, where he became the biggest one-hit wonder in league history. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.